welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy. Today we're going to be talking about a Scotch. The Buchanan's Deluxe 12-year blended Scotch whiskey. As you can see, it is crafted to the highest quality for the most vibrant characters, imbued with passion and commitment, guaranteed by that guy. So this is a 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Distilled, blended, and bottled in Scotland. You know, Mr. Randy loves to see that. And not a whole lot of stuff on the back. It is a Diageo product. So there's that. So let me go ahead and get a pour on while we start yibber-yabbing. Okay, so Mr. Randy, I think I finally figured out you got to start shaking already. And if it gets down, just give it a little tappy tap. Sometimes I think I did the old Heinz 57. There you go. See, that works the best, doesn't it? That good old ketchup bottle trick works every time. Oh, man. That is about the poorest design I think I've ever come across. I don't even know why they thought that was necessary. I get the ones that they put in the handles, the 1.75 liter bottles. I understand why they put those in there. This one I don't understand. So this is a blended Scotch. So let me go ahead and make a little bit of a point here, okay? Anywhere and everywhere I've looked on the great wide world of webs and interwebbing, I have not been able to find significant enough information about this whiskey. I was able to pull out that they use European oak and American oak casks, not if they're ex-bourbon or first fills or charred or virgin oak, and nothing. That was it. European and American oak casks. Thank you. Okay, other thing I did actually manage to find, this was a very difficult one to find some information. It's very popular in South America, especially with the Latin America. I guess. I mean, I don't... Of all the videos I managed to dredge up, I don't really see that in any of the videos, but several websites did mention that it was pretty popular. I'd like to see the sales numbers on that. But Mr. Randy paid $23 out the door, and this is the 375 milliliter bottle. And like I said, it was just under $23. This, like I said, comes in at 40%. Let's go ahead and get a look at it. Relatively light golden color, but you can't always just take Mr. Randy's word for it, so we have to break out the Mr. Randy's handy dandy whiskey color scale, and probably going to peg this at a deep brown. What do you think? Maybe more of the Cortado sherry? Anyway, so I'm going to have to say that this is one of those whiskeys that it got better once it was allowed to open up. Give it a little time, a little space to open up. So we are here on the full review. This is part 2 of the part 3. For those of you that are new, hello and welcome. Everybody that's coming back, always good to see you. So the first part, I get it home, I crack it open, I have the first pour and share my first impressions with you. Second part is where we're at now, full review, as much information as I can possibly pull up and present it to you in a timely manner. There we go. Okay. And then it'll be part 3. We're going to come back here to the very last pour, maybe the final pour, maybe the last final 2 pours. I try and get it close to that single pour, or, you know, I don't want to go overboard on that final pour. But it's a little bit better. I've been able to get to know this whiskey, and I feel it's much akin to the J&B Rare, which I find that most people, if they have a pour of that, they don't like it. It's too mellow. It's too bland. They don't take enough time to get to know the whiskey. And I'm going to tell you, I scribbled so much on my notes. I started off with a lowest score I think I've ever given. And by the time we got to here with you now, that score has significantly increased. We went from the 1s to now it actually did break the barrier into the 3. That's really crazy. I know we skipped ahead a little bit, but I don't know. I was really confused about this in the beginning. The nose is very light, but there's something there, and you have to really get to know it and get in there, and the characteristics are deep. They're very deep and mellow, but nice. There's some quality to it for sure, but you got to spend some time with it to get to know that. There is citrus. There's a bit of citrus. It says that there is citrus notes in here. One place did recommend like throwing a lemon peel or something in it. Maybe even using these in like a martini or something, or some kind of cocktail. I'm trying to see if we can't get any. There we go. Oh, the viscosity is a little bit loose on that one. A little bit light and a little bit loose. It's got a better mouthfeel. So let's go ahead and skip to that, shall we? It is a little light, but there is viscosity. There's some pretty decent enough viscosity. It doesn't taste like water. I mean, it doesn't feel like water. But on the palate, it's just as light. But it's nice enough. It's not horrible. I definitely wouldn't spit it out. But it's very light. This is probably one of the most mellow Scotch I had. Like I said, akin to the J&B Rare. Now, I didn't like that. Like I said, I think I said I didn't like that off the first. But after I got halfway through and down to the bottom of that bottle, I started to get to know it better. And it was a lot better. So on the palate, like I said, very light. But it's not bad. It's nice enough. Let's go ahead and get a finish on this. It's got some decent viscosity. It's thin, but it's not like watery thin. It's got some decent enough. The finish, I'm gonna peg it as one of those Scotch that the finish is gonna be its redeeming quality. But there are several things that are holding it back from being a really good Scotch. So let's just finish the palate real quick. It sort of flashes across the top of the tongue. There's not a whole lot going on top of the roof of the mouth. Top of the tongue, pretty much all of it, all the way back. There's a little bit on the sides and the jowls, just a little bit. So it's got a pretty light to moderate finish. Like I said, the finish is going to be the redeeming part. It's actually a pretty decent finish. But we're going to go ahead and hit that score. I'm going to give it a weak 3 out of 5. I started off with a 1. I was like, maybe I'll give it a strong 1 because it's actually not a bad whiskey, but there's a lot of things working against it. And then we got to a little closer to that halfway mark, and I bumped it up into the 2s. And then I'm sort of weighing things back and forth. And then we get into the, like right here, right before I did this, I took all things in consideration. And I decided it's pretty good for a more on the mellower side of Scotch ranges. And it is 12 years. There's not a whole lot of information to tell us like it's a blend. But what is it a blend of? Where does it source it from? How are each one of these blends, are they like aged each, or is the lowest one 12? I didn't find any information. If you can give me information or lead me in the right direction, please let me know in the comments. So I ended up agreeing that we're going to go ahead and give it a weak 3 out of 5 because it is a pretty rather decent Scotch. 12-year age statement. It's I think it said it was like at least over 100 years in production. And they do have different variations. They do have expressions. They do have one that's like a pineapple. And I think I might try that one because if you add some kind of tasting into it, it might give it a little bit more of a bump. But the pineapple, I'm concerned, is it a natural pineapple or is it a synthetic pineapple? But I guess we'll move on to my fair price. Now, considering that this is a 375 milliliter bottle, I did pay under $23 for it. So I'm guessing the $7.50 would probably be more in the upper 30s, closer to $40. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give you my fair price on the full bottle. I'd probably say 20-ish, but definitely under 30. Now, here comes the reasons why this bottle has been held back from getting a better score and maybe seeing a resurgence or a revisit for Mr. Randy. The price. It is a bit pricey. Yes, it does have a age statement, but there's no clarification on the whiskeys that it's being used. Where are they from? How old is each? What are they? What are they from? Are they all from the same place? There's next to no information on the whiskey itself other than the casks that they were matured in, but they don't say which ones were which and how long each was. There's like next to nothing. And I don't like that when it comes to whiskey. Give me something. Give me something that I could look to and say, hey, that's what makes this whiskey good, and that's what makes it bad. Give me something I could look at and pull apart and quantify. So next is going to be the taste. It's not bad. Like I said, it's not bad. It's pretty decent enough, like the J&B Rare. Nothing special, nothing extravagant, nothing that's going to be like, yeah, that's my go-to right there. But no. And then we're going to go ahead and finish this off. This is running long. This is probably going to be a 12-minute video. The last thing, of course, is going to be that thing right there. I've seen videos of people, they drilled into this, and I don't do that. Do not drill. That's glass. That's plastic. But they say that's a glass bead, so don't drill. The plastic shards or shreds are going to go into your whiskey, and you're going to have to filter it out. Just, you got to shake it. Yeah, it's very good, dude. Very, very smooth on that one. You're going to have to figure out how to do the pour, but by the time you get down to that pour, you get it down, it's going to be gone anyways. So there it is. Buchanan's Deluxe Blended Scotch Whiskey. Let us know in the comments. And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. You have a good one.